So we're going traveling right away a couple days from now, and I don't want to bring my laptop. Don't want to bring my laptop with me because, well, number one, it's expensive. Number two is that it's heavy and I don't want to lug it around. I'm going to bring my iPad and my iPhone. Now I'm actually bringing my iPhone XR, but this is an iPhone 7 Plus. This is an iPad Air 3. Both of these have a lightning port. Can I plug in external devices to these and be able to do transfers and backups of, let's say, USB sticks or SD cards or anything like that to a hard drive while out and about on my trip? Or for you guys just wanting to do that normally. I haven't done this yet, but I bought a whole bunch of stuff hoping that it's gonna work. So we're gonna take a look at that right now. Fingers crossed. So when iOS 13 came out, it was a big feature that said, hey, all of our devices that are compatible with this, iOS 13, will now have external drive support, and that's huge. Was one of the reasons I actually bought an iPad was because of that support. Now, what a lot of us weren't necessarily informed of was that the Lightning port has a lot of power limitations so that it can't actually power a lot of external devices because the external devices require too much power and the Lightning port was never really designed to do that. Those of you folks out there that have a iPad Pro, which has a USB-C port, you guys are good. Plug in a USB-C hub to there and you're off to the races. No worries, no concerns. Not for us. How do we get around this? Well, if you look down here, hopefully I've got enough stuff here to figure out how to do it. Looking at the table, I've got my iPad Air 3, I got an iPhone 7, and again I'm using the 7 because I wanted to see and make sure that it worked on an older device. I have the Lightning to USB adapter. Now this is the one, you gotta make sure you get this one, I think, but I don't know 100%, but I think, which also has the power on it so that you can plug this into power because this will help give the iPad, well, more power. And it can charge while we're doing data transfer and things like that. So if you're gonna buy this, I think this is the one to get. Now, just so you guys know too, I did buy a third-party one of these and it failed. It wasted money. I went and bought the Apple one. This is the official. I bought, and again, this part's not necessarily super important, but I did buy a USB 3.0 multifunction card reader. So it's a USB one, okay? Because USB is what we're working with. We're trying to work with USB, so I wanted to be able to put my cards into a reader. Now this one was fairly inexpensive, coming in around $15 Canadian. All this gear that I'm going to show you here, I am going to put links down below so you guys can try to mimic what I'm doing as long as it works. Because if it doesn't work, don't replicate it because it won't work for you probably either. I have this. This is probably the primary piece. This is the Atola. This is the Atola. Now I don't even know if there's a model. I guess Atola 204 USB 3.0 hub. Now, the reason I got this hub, there are lots of hubs out there, and I actually have a fair bit of hubs, but this is a powered hub, which means, and the hopes are that this will be able to supply power to all the devices that are hooked into it, so the iPad doesn't, which means the Lightning port doesn't care. It's getting all the power from the hub. This is probably the most important part of the whole thing, would be my guess. Last but not least, I do have my camera here. So here's my camera, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the SD card out of it, you know, right here, SD card. That I think is, I can't remember, 64 gig, 128 gig, whatever. We do have a Lexar solid state drive, which we are going to attempt, for one, make folders on here, solid state, and we're gonna try to copy, and I just put a couple files on the SD card. We're gonna try to copy those to here. If I can get that to work, we're good. Now, for you guys as well, there are other options to do this. I did a video in the past of a product by RAVPower. It's a wireless little device that you can plug in a USB device and an SD card, and it'll do data transfer through that. Works great. Slow. So that's an option, and I'll put a link down below for that if you guys are interested. It's an option, but the key here is trying to figure out how to do this quickly. something that I can actually use like the files application instead of having to use a proprietary app like RAVPower. Okay, so let's crack some of this open. Number one, we're gonna open up this. So this is my little card reader. Some of you may have a card reader already because a lot of camera cards actually do come with them, but I bought one because I wanted to validate. So here we go, this is it. And this again is by a company called, you guys can see that Ugreen, I guess. So nice looking, it looks just like a USB stick, which is kind of what I liked. There it is, Ugreen. It does full SDs, micro SDs. And that's about it. It does have, it looks like a little area that you can put a, little lanyardy thing in there. Does it come with one? No, you get a little manual and a thank you card, but that looks to be it. I'm not gonna look at either of those. Anyway, there it is, there's that. This, of course, would plug in, for instance, right there, top off, USB. It's USB 3, so it should have decent speeds. We'll just kind of throw that there. Cool. Number two, again, most important part, in my opinion, to see if this is gonna work, is this a Tola 204. Looks fancy, looks nice, and it's not really big. Now they did have a 7-port one as well, and it was actually on sale for like $5 more than this one. I didn't go with it because, again, I want portability, so if this was gonna get almost twice as big, I didn't need it, and I really only needed like 2 things plugged in at a time, really, for what I'm doing. But just be aware that more is out there. This is, again, we're gonna put all this up. There's an instruction manual in there if you guys care. You get a membership, activate 2-year warranty. 2-year warranty if you activate it. This is the important right here. Power. Power is the important part. Let's start getting some of this together, shall we? Long cable, not overly, but probably long enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this in, and you'll see this, of course, you guys see that right there? This way? This, of course, is gonna be, this is, usually the red is like a quick charger, would be my guess. I think that's a quick charger, which is weird that it has another one. You have your standard 4 for your hub, and then you have your plug, which is gonna go, for me, into the Apple USB to Lightning. And we have power, so power's gonna go right there. I'm gonna plug this in, see if this works. One second. All right, so you guys can see that we lit up. So we got blue. That's excellent. That's good. Blue. Okay, we're gonna put that right there. You could get a lot more cable because this is gonna be able to extend as well. Okay, so we got that there. Things are coming together. We have the Apple one. Okay, and we are gonna plug this in. Got our hard drive. Got our USB stick. Got our iPad. Now, we're gonna take our iPad, first and foremost, we're just gonna flip this over. This is why we want the Apple one, if at all possible. So we're gonna take this, and we're gonna try to not plug it into power at all. So we're gonna unplug the iPad. We're gonna plug this in. Hopefully you guys can see all that. That's in there now. We're gonna open up the Files application. And I don't have anything plugged into the hub yet. Files application, which is here. And you want to make sure you're on the browse at the very bottom so that you'll have a location. So you'll see right now, I have a Creative Cloud because I have the Adobe stuff, iCloud drive, and on my iPad. So number one, we're taking the hard drive. This hard drive is formatted in exFAT. It's kind of what it came as. So we're just gonna plug that in, see what happens. We get, I don't even know if there's any lights on this. We're just gonna wait. If it works, then this should pop up here. Oh, I got a light on the Lexar. That's good. Look at this, Lexar, fantastic. So number one, I'm going to, if we click and hold, I can go new folder, right? And I can be like, day 1 files. Day 1 files, fantastic. So we got that. Now we're gonna take this. This is the tricky part. See if this works. We're plugging this in. In it goes. Okay, let's watch. So nothing's happening so far. So what we're gonna do is make sure that's in all the way. We're also gonna just put this in first. Oh, it wasn't in all the way. That would do it. Make sure you get it in all the way. Card in all the way. Let's see if that shows up. There it is. Whew! That's a little nerve-wracking. Okay, untitled. So there's my DCIM folder, which is perfect. So I can go into this. I can see inside here all the files, which is great. Now, what's nice about this too, and I don't know if you guys were aware of this, especially with the iPad, this is kind of nice. Let's say I've already backed up some of these, but I haven't backed up, let's say from this point here forward. So if I tap and hold this and I kind of get this move, I can just kind of start tapping the other ones. And you'll see they all kind of jump into the center. They also dim a little bit, showing that they're used. So now I come in here, and as long as I keep that on the screen, I can tap on my Lexar, tap on there, let go, and here they come. And that is way faster than using my RAVPower. Some of these are raw files, some of these are video files. Oh, that's awesome. What a fantastic way to be able to move all this stuff from one to the other. We'll let this finish. Right, and we're moving files that are fairly big. My video files are 115 megs, 136 megs, 136 megs, 151, 236. So we're moving a fair bit of files across. Not that these were anything exciting, but once these are copying, I can tap on one of these, I would guess. Maybe I have to wait for it to finish. Yeah, once it finishes, it kind of, and plays no problem. There's my cat. There's my cat. So that is 100% a win. So this works like a charm, at least on the iPad. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna close out of files. I'm gonna pop this out, and this not even powering the adapter, so that's great. Just be aware that you are gonna be depleting the power of the iPad while you're doing this, so that's why I kind of like this adapter, because I can plug it in as well and be charging the iPad up. All right, so now we have my phone. So here's my phone, same idea, iPhone. We're gonna go into files. There's files right there. Same idea, we only have the iPhone, no externals. Taking this, same deal, plugging it in, click. We're gonna see if these two show up. Lexar, untitled, just like that. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go into my Lexar. We're gonna pretend, we're gonna hold, new folder. We're gonna say day 2, right, done, there it is. Kind of go back to our locations. Now, I don't know if you can do that click and hold thing. We'll find out here. Untitled, DCIM. Yeah, we're gonna do the same idea. We're gonna just click, we'll click the first like 6 or so. So if I tap, yep, same idea, still works, which is great. Now I can move back here, move back here, move back here. I can now go to my Lexar, go to my day 2, drop, and there they come. Fantastic. So happy. This is what's coming with me on our trip. And it's not huge. I have a little storage folder thing for cables that I bought from like the dollar store. This will all fit in there, no problems at all. And I throw that in my backpack and off I go. My biggest concern on our trip was backing up all the stuff and it not taking 7 days to back up 1 day's worth of footage. This is super fast, super efficient, works like a charm. All right, guys, video was probably a little longer, but I did want to make sure you saw all the parts. I wanted to make sure that you saw it going to an iPad 3rd generation Air, as well as an older device like an iPhone, just to be able to kind of do that. I'm going to leave links down below again, like I said, to all these devices. Device-wise, I'm going to look at the USB card reader, the hub, of course, because that's important, as well as the Apple USB to Lightning adapter, because kind of the parts that you need. All right, guys, so happy. Links down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, my friends.